Our next guest, I think, gets the award for traveling the farthest to talk to you today. I don't even know if I can make myself say New York City today. That's okay. We're going to forgive him. But our last speaker of the day, maybe you've heard of this guy. He is a character. I'm telling you right now. We just love this guy already. David Webb has been entertaining and informing the public for over 20 years. Again, this is one of those guys that was Tea Party before Tea Party was cool. Am I right, David? That's right. He's a blend of experience as a local syndicated talk show host, music on-air personality, producer, assistant program director, promotion. This guy's done it all. This guy's literally done it all in radio. He's been in Texas a couple of stints, and now he's on SiriusXM Patriot Radio, Channel 125. David Webb, you can hear him every night and about 3 times on the week. The guy is everywhere. He's almost sick of himself. David Webb.
All right, this thing on.
I'm his backup singer today.
We'll be performing a few tunes from our favorites. First of all, let me get rid of this. I like to move around a little bit. He says thanks to me. Come on out here, Jason. Come on up here, Craig. Come on up here. Before I even get started, I got my start in radio, and I'm one of those guys that's worked in the major markets. But one of my fondest memories, and I got it this morning driving by, was I used to do weekends for a friend of mine at a radio station that had a front window on Main Street. And you guys brought back some great memories. I love local radio. I see all of you raise your hands when we talk about K-Well. And then it took us a while to remember that I was on with Craig 2 years ago at the start of the Tea Party movement. So this is actually my 3rd trip to Midland. 1 came over the airwaves. How about a big round for them?
Thank you, David.
All right, thank you, guys. Now, there's one person in this room who's seen me get out on stage before, and she knows how I like to do things. Catherine Stewart. She's really responsible for this, for having me up here, so you can forgive her or thank her later, as you will. And I believe in taking action. So the first thing I'm going to ask everyone to do who's in here, who's got a cell phone, take out your cell phones. Come on, get them out. A lot of you are on Twitter, Facebook, Foursquare. Come on, let's go. You got cell phones. They have cameras. Breitbart and I, years ago, realized that it was really important to use everything in front of us to spread the message. And the cell phone is the thing. It's got cameras, it's got social networking, and I want you to do this if you're on Twitter. Right now, and it's not rude, matter of fact, I encourage it when I'm talking. I want you to Twitter, I want you to Facebook, I want you to Foursquare, I want you to use everything available, and on Twitter, use the hashtag #ProAmerica. Because I want this out for the world to see, and this is going to go back to what I do on Sunday. I'll explain that later, on Monday rather, on my show. So use it. But why are we here? We're here because all of our stories are similar. Our professions are different. You've got a radio guy who does business talk and talking about oil and gas, if that doesn't tell you something. My story is no different than yours. I'm an American. I had a right to choose. I had good parents who taught me values. They said, we'll give you the tools, and we want you to make an informed decision. We want you to make a choice. And that's what I did. Now, that's a little better, isn't it? All right. I'll get a little closer on the mic. So I made my choices. My choices were based on why this country is great. This country is great because anyone can become an American. It starts there, and it is that simple. You can't become a Frenchman. You can become a French citizen. You can't become Italian. You can become an Italian citizen. But the great writer Samuel Huntington wrote very clearly that anyone can become an American. It's unique in world history to realize that in just a little over 200 years, we have created the single most successful experiment in world history. And that is why I'm proud to be an American. Because you take it from there. From there, you decide. Now, I'm in a room, and I've talked to a lot of you, not all of you. And if I get to all of you, it'll be a miracle, because we're going to be here together for a while, and there's a lot of you. But you're oil people. You maybe own a restaurant. I see by the way, I'll be back for the brisket later. And I see a lot of good people around here. I see churches. I see families. You all made choices because of that right as an American. Those individual rights protected in this document, our Constitution. Your right to choose to be who you want. Our stories are not much different. Our cities are different. You may have been born here in Midland, in Odessa. You may have lived like I did in Houston and in Dallas. Forgive me for the Dallas. I'm just kidding for my Dallas friends. But you are here being who you are. So that part I want to get out the way. And now I want to go to your industry. I do business talk. I do analysis. I can't come in here and tell a guy who has a company that provides specialized equipment for oil and gas, for energy as I call it, how to do his business. What I can tell you is this. As someone who has traveled, studied, and taken a good look at oil, gas, and this industry that really started here in America while it's all over the world, you are a part of our everyday lives. Somewhere at any point, at any day in your life, you are within 10 feet of something that is related to oil and gas. Those cell phones I asked you to take out, those TV screens you watch, this microphone, this screen. Look at even parts on these airplanes around here. It's petroleum. It is a natural product. It was created by nature, and it is used by human beings to have fostered the greatest industrial revolution in world history. They may have built the pyramids. Great job, guys. Thanks. We love visiting them. But we built pyramids of opportunity with oil and gas and with energy. No more clear to anyone who wants to stand back for a moment from the political wrangling, and we've got plenty of that. Is there any honest person on this planet whose life could not be made better by the exploitation of wildcatters and riggers and refiners and transportation people, you name it? Everything that has made this industry great has been returned umpteen times. I get to use that word once in a while. My grandfather loved it. To the world. So see it for what it is. I'm here to help talk about this industry, but I do it all the time on my show. And I bring it to those simple things. Everybody talks about the pain at the pump. They're going to investigate pain at the pump at the DOJ. Well, we know how Herrick Holder's investigations go. Kind of like Fast and Furious. Not so fast, not so furious, never actually effective. But it's not just the pump. The pump is only one thing. It's where it is in your daily lives, and that's what Americans understand, and they do get it. Put the politics aside. This is not a liberal, conservative, Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, Independent, any issue. It is a human issue because these are human lives. when I talk to a man who has to close his coal plants, or when I talk to people who have to lay off at their gas refineries, they talk about the human lives that are affected. And if you own a restaurant, someone who's not buying something as much. So the war on energy, the war on oil, the war on everything that has been successful by this administration, by the leftist agenda, and there could well be Democrats in here too, that's fine. I love America because we have everybody in here. But the leftists are not Americans, and this administration is not an American administration. Let me tell you something about the leftists. I was down in Zuccotti Park when Occupy Wall Street kicked into high gear. I spent hours there. I was the first show to go broadcast there, but I got to add credit to Andrew Wilkow. You guys know who he is, right? Any Wilkow majority fans here? All right. We share an office. We share ideas. We debate. We go into each other's shows. We went to Zuccotti Park, and we started unmasking who the leftists are. And the chickens have come home to roost. These are the Frank Marshall Davis, Jeremiah Wright, Barack Obama, Derek Bell, Valerie Jarrett, Jim Messina, David Axelrod chickens. They are leftists. And while they may carry a passport that says American, their ideas, their ideals, and their definition of what this country should be is not American, because they believe they have a definition, and Americans believe we make the definition for ourselves. And when we do better as individuals, that translates to our community, because we share the wealth the real way, by participating, by tithing to your church for charity, by buying food at a restaurant, by coming here and donating to the Air Force Museum. By the way, I love this place. Does anybody have the keys to one of these airplanes? I wanted to fly Harriers. That was my initial dream, and why I raised my right hand. And by the way, I did make a mistake. I usually start with this. For all our veterans, where are you? Stand up. And for the Marines, there's got to be a Marine in here. Semper Fi, brother. And since my girlfriend Kimber is Army, hooah! Folks, I'm not going to spend a long time up here. I don't want you sitting around looking at me. But I do want you to listen to yourselves for a moment, echoed through my voice, because why I do what I do is because you exist. When the leftist Occupy movement took off, I went in and looked at them for who they are. I don't care if they carry American passports. I'm going to give you the roots of it, and I want you to take it forward into November. As Senator, see, I keep calling him Senator Cruz. I keep hoping for that. That's real hope. But as the Senate candidate said, 39 days, you've got a fundamental decision. The Occupy leftists, all those people, are European anti-capitalists. That is a fact. I'm going to give you information that is important, just like I do on my show. I want you to remember pslweb.org. Pretty sure you can get on the internet. It is the Party for Socialism and Liberation. They've been around since 2004. They're a worldwide operation. They are endorsed by this administration, by Nancy Pelosi, by Harry Reid, and all of the leftists. Why? Because they tear down structures. When I went into Zuccotti Park with Andrew Wilkow, and we posted pictures of them with the American flag on the ground, and wipe your feet and relax, and their Che Guevara, because, you know, Che was a nice guy, and their Che Guevara shirts and their flags, and their donation bucket that said from each according to his ability to each according to their need. First, I asked them, what do you need? And what do you have planned? We started unraveling who they are. It ties back to the Obama administration. The other group is Ad Busters. They're out of Canada. 7 years ago, they got their funding from George Soros. This is fact, not conjecture. You can look it up. By the way, they admit it. Just like the Tides Foundation, just like all the other groups, this is who they are. The reason they were endorsed, follow me on this. Never give the microphone to a radio guy, but I promise I'll be quick. The reason they were endorsed by this administration was because the Tea Party movement had changed the dynamic, the discussion, and the demand from Americans. And they needed to deflect and divide you by making it class warfare, and here's the bad news. They were partially successful. Second plug, and I have no fiduciary gain in this. Go see Occupy Unmasked. It was Andrew Breitbart's last vision. I still choke up when I say his name. Andrew brought this to all of us as his way to give to you something that you needed to understand in how it ties, not only for everybody in America, whether it's oil and gas, but how it ties back to the administration. Because you have to divide America, as he did in 2008, into Hispanics, blacks, women without birth control, I don't know why, and grandma. By the way, their grandmother's in here, I'm sure. Who wants to be thrown off the cliff? Anybody? Okay, the Republicans aren't going to do that. But that's what they pushed. This was about making class warfare the narrative for the next 39 days. That is why they exist. The war on energy is part of that because they have to tear down the middle class. In order for the leftists and Obama to be successful, they have to tear down the middle class. Socialism cannot have the greatest driver of economic wealth working effectively, and that is in this country 70% owed to the middle class. It's not the 1%, it's not the 99%, it's actually 70% of you across America who are the middle class, who hire, who advance, who work, who dream. Who was it? Tim, I talked to earlier. The bee guy. Bee busters. Anybody in here know him? All right, bee busters. I love a guy who can count 2 million bees. He explained it to me. What did he do? He took an avocation, as he explained to me a few minutes ago, and he made it a business. That's a middle-class approach. So they need to tear you down as an oil and gas industry so they can make the middle class who subsist off an industry that hires millions, not even related to the rig, not related to the refinery, not related to anything that provides equipment, but millions who subsist if you drive a truck. All my truckers in the audience, all right? The truckers out there in the Patriot audience, they're driving your product to market. They're bringing you equipment. The trains, Burlington Northern, all these industries, they rely on energy for a large percentage of their income and wealth generation. And guess what it takes to drive trucks, to make factories turn on lights, these lights? Energy. If they tear you down, the leftists win. And do we want them to win? I can't hear you. Do we want the leftists to win? Do we want Obama to win? The future of America is yours. Now, I like to kind of mix it up a little bit. So the first thing I need is a few people up here. Come on, out of the front row, second row. Give me about 7 or 10 people up here. D, come on up here. You're going to help me later anyway, so I'm going to put you to work. Come on up here. I'll come down to you. Come on. Don't be shy. Give me a couple of the kids. Come on. Kids, this is your future, so I need a couple of you up here. I love stage props. No name quizzes, no pop quizzes. I'm terrible with names. I admit that to everyone. Come on up here. D, what's your business? You're a retirement planner. What's your business?
I'm figuring that out.
All right. No, it all goes together. Just follow me here. All right, Woody. Woody I met earlier. I love him. All right. Now, this my father would have a little problem with because I'm with a Dallas Cowboy wearing guy because I'm a Giants fan, but we'll still be friends. What do you do, Woody?
I'm a truck driver.
You're a truck driver. I love you guys. Yeah. Cowgirls. Did I say that out loud? What do you do, sir?
I'm a truck driver.
What about you?
Landscape and irrigation.
Now tell me how every one of these people affects your lives. You don't need to give me the answers. Just think about it for a minute. How everything they do, including the guy who's looking for his future, is going to rely on the retirement planner who may well work with someone who's got venture capital to invest in a business. That business is going to hire a trucker because that trucker's got to take his business to market. And if he grows it big enough, it's probably going to be acquired at a good rate by a bigger company. It's going to hire more trucks. Start tying yourselves together. Now, I didn't forget the ladies. I save the best for last sometimes. So what do you do?
I'm in human resources for a drilling company.
So if you need a job, go see her.
I'm teaching business.
And you need to talk to her if you need an updated class.
I'm a surveillance manager for a company that's Texas-owned.
Local business, how about that? I love Texas. And?
I'm a college student studying business.
I'm a high school student.
Look at that. The high school student becomes the college student. The human resources person sees a lot of college students coming through. The guy wearing the Wounded Warrior Project, let me just shake your hand. It's a great thing. Forgot what you do. I told you, I don't remember everything.
I'm a truck driver.
Truck driver, that's right. You're already included. Just look around and do something before you leave here today, and it's a smaller community than, say, New York City. But it's an American community. Meet each other and meet these people. See them for who they are and how they interact in your lives. And realize that if you let the leftist agenda take this country down another 4 years, $5 more trillion in debt, a $20 trillion absolute destruction of world economy, because Americans aren't selfish and what happens to us happens to the world. Realize that if that happens, all of this, to the guy in high school and the kids over there, see their future erode. And are you willing to let that happen? No. I can't hear you. No. Are you willing to do something about it? Yeah. All right, so I'm going to give you a task. +1. Guy named Sean called my show. And every week I have tasks for the audience. And he said, we need to bring somebody. When you close the door, the curtain, whatever on the voting booth, there is no union boss, there is no political candidate, there is nobody but you and your decision. Your American, God-given right to cast a vote. Before you get there, I want all of you in this room to do something, and it can take 1, 2, 3, 10, I don't care. I don't care how many tries it takes. You are going to do this. You are going to find one person who was going to vote for Obama or wasn't sure how they were going to vote, and you are going to talk to them as Americans and bring that +1 to the booth. That's your task. Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to do that because it's self-serving and it serves you? It's that simple. It's that simple, America. It's that simple to everyone here. Get into the booth, bring others with you, talk to them about American values, talk to them about the things that matter to us, and then go from there. All right, everybody stand up. Woody, grab a mic. Not Woody, D, grab a mic.
There we go.
All right. Now, I talk for a living, and I would never sing for you. But I'm in a room where I heard people earlier singing at the top of their lungs like they were in church and they were taking it right. And this man started one of those songs. Every Tea Party rally that I have ever held, God Bless America, has been sung. It's the heartbeat of America. It raises your heart rate, so it's good for you. Doctors in the room will agree. And it's something that brings us all together. And I want you to just not sing it. I want you to sing it loud, because nobody in here is going to tell anybody you suck, like I do. So don't feel bad. And Woody start us off.
I will. Here we go. God bless America.
Come on, let me hear you.
Land that I love. Stand beside her.
Come on, Peggy, get over here.
And guide her through the night with a
louder.
light
Come on, let them hear
you. From the mountains to the prairie, to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
One more time.
God
louder. Let me hear you. All the way in the back.
America, my home, sweet home.
You all did great. Seeing you drowned each other out if you're loud enough. Can we get that on 8-track? Man, what kind of truck are you driving? I'm going to leave you with a policy point, and I want to thank everyone who came up here, because I want you to really do what I said. You're sitting next to each other. If you walk out of this room and you don't have a new contact, a new colleague, someone you didn't know before, then why'd you come here? Why did you come here? There's something I'm fighting for, and this is the final part of this battle that I can promise you. I have talked to enough senators, congressmen, and the Romney campaign about it, and I'm not shilling for Romney. Let me be clear about that. It is the need in this country for a comprehensive energy policy. We don't need comprehensive immigration reform, that's amnesty. We do need work there. We don't need, but we have an open border, that's another issue. We don't need comprehensive health care, AKA Obama tax, AKA the Affordable Care Act, AKA destruction of 1/6 of our economy. We do need a comprehensive energy policy, and here's what it is. It's based in why your industry and oil and gas and every facet of it, and that includes nuclear, solar, all of it, is either already successful or will be successful. It's because it's the development of the American ideal that once you make it, create a good product, somebody will consume it. And that's what they do with energy. So when they sell us out to Solyndra, and when they sell your money off to make electric cars, $133 million for the battery alone, you paid for that. We're going to get to that in a minute. Notice the shirt. Comprehensive energy means that the companies that you work for or that invest in your industry or Wall Street, yeah, those evil Wall Street guys who give money, it means that when it's developed and when it's ready and when there's an infrastructure for it, it will be ready to work for the American people. And that is something that we are working on, But in order to be successful, we have got to get Obama out of office and go back to why I said he has to tear down the pillars of our community called America in order to do that. Because if you stand up and you progress and you continue to win and you continue to innovate and you continue to develop, he will be unsuccessful. The leftists will be unsuccessful, and even after you vote him out, they're going to try. But we're going to fight for you in New York and in Washington and in Carolinas and all across this country. And we're putting our own little cabal together. Actually, we exist. We were always the long game guys. You learned that from watching Andrew Breitbart, that this was about opening up all avenues and winning. We're playing to win. But the only way we're going to do that and get to that comprehensive energy policy which benefits you, which benefits the world, it's not just America, is if we get him out of office. It's a simple, simple fact that government built nothing. Our founding moments as a country, regardless of the industry, farming, whatever, shipping, the tea trade, who knows, was private capital which formed communities, which formed states, and we created the federal government. It was never government. They didn't build a John Deere. They didn't build a Stewart and Stevenson motor. They didn't build an oil rig. They didn't build a cell phone. They didn't build Google. They didn't build anything. They used your created wealth to build it. Government didn't build it. We did. This is our country. Everybody with me. When I say this is our country, I want you to say, I built it. And I want you to mean it. This is our country. This is our country. Grab a mic. This is America. Land of the free. Home of the brave. Proudest country on earth. And I built it. Thank you.
David Webb, thank you. Hey, you want to meet over here after? Maybe?
Yeah. Stand up, because you're not done yet.
Yeah, we've got a couple more things after you.
There's more to come, and I really want to thank you. I don't kid around when I say that I support your industry, because I recognize its importance. So I want to bring something back with me, and I love technology. By the way, petroleum-based product. There's some plastic here, some silicon, some other things, offshoots of your industry. I'm going to pass this around, and I want you to say a couple of words into it for me to take back to the Patriot audience. If it runs out of batteries, I've got fresh ones in my pocket. Get it to me. Pass it around, and somebody at the end of this, get it to me, and give me as much as you can. This is my country. I built it. I'm pro-America because whatever. Give me sound bites. America needs to hear from you, and that is my promise to you, that they will hear from you one more time. This is my country. I built it. Thank you.